Can we do it?
Hi.
Hi.
So, Koin, that's my favorite DI, and you did a great job with the plugin. I'm using it every day at work in my last 3 projects.
Cool.
And Kotzilla, Koin was an open source project, and how did it end up as a company?
It's still an open source project. I created Koin 8 years ago now. And now it's a company I co-founded with Michael. And we are creating tools on top of Koin to continue to help people with many stuff around that. But Koin is still an open source project. And with all the new features, we can talk a bit later if you want. But we finally ended up having super cool tool for you as developers and even like big enterprise tooling for your production monitoring and AI fixing stuff.
This Droidcon theme is AI. So Koin is doing something with AI, I heard.
Yeah, exactly. What we try to do with Kotzilla is that finally Koin make you really be happy with your development, with your Android or even KMP development. And then you scale, but after that there's a matter of how do you find issues, how do you find problem of architecture, and instead of waiting post-mortem case where it's too late, we can really take advantage of all your architecture data and make you understand what's going on super early, and then even now help you with AI to fix that.
Okay. What type of report I get from AI? Like, what can go wrong with the injection?
Yeah, sure. The main stuff and what we do is tooling on top of Koin for the Kotzilla platform, and then there is the plugin. But for the platform itself, we can detect startup problem. We can detect main thread problem when you ask Koin to resolve something on the main thread, then we can detect if it's provoking a main thread problem or not. Even background threading, if you are blocking your background thread, even if you don't care, we say, okay, it's in background, but we can detect there is something wrong in your main thread. And we can also understand your allocations in memory, because you give us your components, we understand lifecycle, then we understand how you open scope, how you create singletons, how you ask for factories. And then we understand everything, and we give you the opportunity to deep dive into sessions if you want. But to avoid you to have to dig into thousands of sessions, user session, walkthrough, etc. What we do is we are analyzing your data, and then we point you really what matters and what you should fix. Then it's what we call critical issue, and this is all the kind of issue I mentioned. In between, what we are detecting is your screen state, activity, what kind of state of your activity you were doing, fragment, even compose. If you are navigating to compose, we can understand where you are in your application, and then from that, we have a big overview of your application, ready out of the box, and with the minimum impact in terms of performance. Everything is ready out of the box with one line in your configuration of Koin. You just add one line, and then you unlock your capacity to have a platform that helps you in your daily usage and in production to understand where you struggle. And from those data, we can manage to help you with any AI. We manage to prepare a prompt, because finally we have the data, we have the context, and then as we understand your context, because we know that your issue is in this class, finally, linking with this problem and this kind of other classes, then we can bring everything in the context for you, prepare everything, analyze, and we give it to you, and you can prompt any AI for you, like Copilot, Gemini, whatever. But then with the Koin plugin, you have access under the hand to all the analyze that we are doing on the platform and even locally on your configuration. Then you have access to this AI help directly.
Okay, so the analysis happen at runtime, that's what I understood.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense to just enable it for debug mode, not all builds,
not only debug,
or even the production.
Yeah, it's production ready. Okay. And even for enterprise, we don't have the need to look at 100% of your fleet data. Like if you have millions of users, we don't need to look at the millions of users. We can really sample for companies that really need that. And from the production side, we can really have a big overview of what's going on really fastly and then give you good pointers to what is critical for your application. You may have, for example, a view model that will begin to block your main thread, for example, something executing in 300 milliseconds, it's already a lot. And then we are pointing this for you and say, okay, look at this because your view model is doing something wrong. And we are anticipating all your impact of your screen because then we are warning you before you have an error. And then you can look at data, is it on a particular device, is it, in some case. This is why debug is okay for you to investigate, but you need production data to understand how your users are using that and what are the real pain you have. Because as developers, the main thing we have is we are testing our application, we know it by heart.
Exactly.
We are testing on our Pixel 10 or something, it's super fast.
Yeah.
But the average customer is not using a Pixel 10 for our application.
That's true. And okay, where does this data somehow collect? Because it gives me the sense of privacy issues and if any user data is going to be there if it's in production.
We don't collect any sensible data. We only connect what Koin brings us. That means it's just class name or class interaction.
Okay.
That means that, for example, I can understand that you have this view model that has been launched, this repository has been created, but we don't know what kind of data you are passing.
Okay.
You could have more tools and we can give you more tools to trace, but it's on your own to be sure you don't break this data sensibility for you. But by default, we don't expose any sensible data.
Okay. And since you're technical, what about R8 and all those obfuscations that rename all the classes? Do you also get the mapper for every build?
Yeah, we ask for a mapping file, and then the plugin, we have a Gradle plugin on the Kotzilla SDK, automatically send the mapping file. You can disable that, but then we have everything for you to configure the way you would like for us to share your build or not share exactly the same as Firebase. You have a project file and then you can share that. And we are KMP compatible, but this kind of problem is also compatible with iOS application. Then we are monitoring iOS application the same way. Then you will find exactly the same insights, more than you won't find activity or fragment in an iOS application, but we will find compose navigation and all the architecture around that is running, and then you will have insights on that.
Interesting. Thanks for doing such a great job. I really love the product, and thanks.
Feel free to test the platform. It's on Kotzilla.io. You can register freely, play with the platform. And the Koin plugin, you can also use it, it's free. You just need a free account on Kotzilla Platform, of course. But you unlock local static analysis. That means that what we do is, before compile safety, is we are making safety check in your code. While you are typing, we can really check your configuration. Then you have configuration panel with all the modules you have, then you can navigate. But if you forgot something, we can warn you that you forgot something in your configuration, and then we show everything that you may have forgot. Even dynamic behavior, like passing parameter dynamically to a chain, we can detect that you forgot something.
I'm using it. It's very nice to see some warning or error that, hey, you forgot to inject this to your tree and things like that. That's very great.
We are
Thank you so much.
to help the developer community.
Have a nice Droidcon. Bye.
Bye.